Sit up straight. I'm sure you've heard this before, but do you really follow this advice? Posture refers to the way that we position ourselves, usually while standing or sitting. Very much like breathing, most people don't pay much attention to it in their daily lives. As university students, we spend a lot of time studying and working on computers. That involves a lot of sitting. Adopting a good posture, such as an upright back and neutral neck, reduces the stress on our muscles and joints. Bad posture, on the other hand, like arching your back and craning your neck, can give the opposite effect of pain and discomfort. Severe and chronic cases of bad posture may even result in headaches, nerve pains, and spine abnormalities like scoliosis. Now, all of these effects are physical, and most people won't suffer any extreme consequences if they don't constantly have bad posture. But what if I told you that your posture could affect your learning and even your emotions? That's exactly what we'll be investigating today.
We conducted an online survey with 60 university students in Hong Kong. We asked about their habits and their perceptions regarding how posture affects mental performance. We asked the respondents which posture they adopt in class or when they're studying. Around 70% slouch, 15% have their heads downwards, and only 10% sit up straight. We also wanted to know what their attention span was like. Just over 10% reported having an attention span of 45 to 60 minutes, relatively long. However, over 50% reported having an attention span of less than 30 minutes. Something to note is that all the respondents who have an attention span of less than 10 minutes are the ones who slouch when studying. Moving on. Above 80% of the respondents believe that posture can affect their attention and learning. And above 85% of the respondents believe that posture can affect their mood and emotions. Altogether, such results may hint at the potential relationship between posture and various brain functions such as attention and emotions. With reference to the survey results, we formulated a hypothesis that adopting different sitting postures can affect our concentration and emotional responses.
To test our theory, we recruited 12 university students to listen to a 5-minute news article while adopting specific postures. So let's get to it. We conducted 3 experiments, with one group sitting straight up, one group slouching, and the last group putting their heads down on the table. We started by distributing the question papers, with the comprehension questions facing up. During the listening exercise, the volunteers completed a total of 8 questions, 6 of which were for testing comprehension, with the aim of assessing their concentration, and the remaining 2 questions were directed towards the change in emotions after listening to the news article. Upon completing 3 sets of experiments, we marked the comprehension questions and summarized participants' emotions towards the article. Let's review the results together. From our experiment, the participants sitting upright answered the comprehension questions with the highest accuracy, averaging 5 out of 6 points. So far so good, but how about those who are slouching? Perhaps not as well. The slouching group averaged 3.5 points for comprehension questions, indicating poor performance compared to the previous group. Lastly, those with their heads down on the table averaged only 2.25 points, with one volunteer scoring merely 1 point. To conclude, in terms of concentration, the group sitting upright had the best performance in this listening exercise, followed by the slouching group and those who put their heads down on tables. And except for the group sitting upright, the remaining groups made the most errors in the last few questions, indicating that they were losing focus towards the end of the exercise. But how did they feel about the article? All participants sitting upright found it heartwarming that many animals were rescued by different shelters. For the most impactful moment in the article, they responded, and I quote, "Many volunteers came together to help, which makes me feel overjoyed as an animal lover. Overall, they felt touched, relieved, and so on. displaying their positive emotional states. Next, those who were slouching had mixed emotions towards the article. Besides feeling relieved that animals got help from people, they were also unhappy that many were injured. A participant mentioned that he was very upset that many animals were trapped and could not escape, but he still felt reassured because the rescue was efficient. Therefore, when slouching, participants tend to focus on both sides of the coin, both the positive and the negative, displaying neutral emotional states. Last up, participants that kept their heads down had more pessimistic views. They were very concerned after hearing animals suffering from serious injuries. Responses include, "I was devastated to hear that animals are hurt, so I missed the positive things in the article." Focusing on the unfortunate events in the news article, they felt depressed and unmotivated. A participant even found it difficult to focus since the bad posture caused soreness in his neck and arms, exhibiting an overall negative emotional state. However, with a small sample size, several experimental errors arise, including the difference in English proficiency and listening skills, which affect their abilities in answering the questions. So the question is, do the results support our hypothesis? Yes, they do.
Our experimental results are actually very similar to those of existing studies. According to a research published in Cognitive Psychology, participants who sat in an upright position performed better on tasks requiring sustained attention compared to those slouched over. Besides, in a study on the effects of posture on psychological states, high power poses with the body spread wide open can lead to high arousal positive emotions, whereas low power poses with the body slumped and constricted may lead to low arousal negative emotions. So now, let's straighten out a few things. Our posture plays a crucial role in shaping not only our physical health, but also our emotional state and concentration. By consciously adopting open, upright postures, we can enhance our mood and improve our attention. So, the next time you find yourself slouching or feeling down, remember, standing tall can elevate not just your body, but your mind as well.